culture mismatch.
That could have.
6 will be sent back to the server, and Downpayment looking like they're crumbling just a little bit. Incipience finding their pacing with Gaku and Doxlin finding 2 of their own. Great Maelstrom of Madness, and they claim the point back for themselves.
Great push coming in from Incipience. It all started off and with Thunder and Exile using their ultimates to just chain the sustain for Incipience, and they're able to take control of the site. Oh, big dink coming in from 6. And back to 6 with the Gods of Death getting absolutely countered by Doxlin's Meteor M, just nullifying any sort of damage and just relaying the damage right back at 6 to shut down that Goddess of Death and just shuts him down again. It's a great play coming in from the Incipience. Yeah.
Their playstyles are so different. They prefer the long-range pokes right now, but FunFun's wanting to be up close and personal. Finds Thunder in the midst of all this. Has to do with the Lance. And Bobo King's going to be right there with them as well, providing the support. And Gaku immediately taken out after trying to figure out how to support the rest of their teammates. Downpayment coming back in. Strong. Doxlin knocked out of action. Lumi finds another. And Incipient's a paying price for it.
Yeah, Donald did whiff the Eye of Agamotto, but we're gonna assume it was a zoning ultimate. We'll put it at that. That makes it sound a little less. It makes it sound a little less painful. It makes it sound like you still got value out of it. So we'll put it at that. Donald with the zoning ultimate with the Eye of Agamotto will be able to zone away Incipience for the time being, and will force them back as Incipience. They snuck some points onto the site, but the Eye of Agamotto from Xenofly doesn't quite land the mark, but it's still a 1-for-1 trade so far. Gregory still doing what he can to do as much damage as possible, but with a swift swing from Donald, we'll be able to shut it down as 6 just try to decide on which one to hit, and we'll have Bubble King and Lumi clean up what is left of Incipience, and that overtime meter will go down to 0, but there is a portal available from Xenofly, but it looks like they're not going to use it.
Able to start that cooldown going, and FunFun escapes with their life nonetheless to be able to make their way back here. Gaku's eye on the prize, but hey, on the back line, it is the butterflies being triggered by the fate of both worlds as well.
Yep, great push coming in, but a great stun coming in with the Eye of Agamotto from Donald. Shuts down 2 members of Incipience. Half of them gone, half of them already sent into the death timer. As a Downpayment taking control, picking up where they left off.
We talk about the coordination from Downpayment, right? Being so good. Bobo King goes in there with the butterflies, and everyone follow up. Look at how Gaku is absolutely isolated in a 1v3 situation. Again, 6 seconds, 6 precious seconds of that respawn has to be paid by Incipience.
How does Incipience get back in? I think Xenofly has the portal available, but it looks like they're just going to rotate down to the low ground. Bobo King is going to pop the invisibility to try to find an opening down into the back line, and he's going to find a way in, but the Fate of Both Worlds is going to be popped on the side of Thunder, but Doxlin still getting taken out, but does have the cocoon to get himself right back into the fight and dinks away Bobo King.
I mean, that's a big one, right? FunFun trades it out. And holy, okay, this feed's lighting up blue. 6 high in the sky, the Gods of Death issuing warrants for everybody at the moment. Back down on the ground, got FunFun making themselves a bit of a fun house around this point. And they've already pushed themselves past 50% on the point.
Yeah, it's looking like a shutout here in favor of Downpayment. How does Incipience come back here? They have 3 ultimates to work with. Agamotto, Goddess of Death, and a Galactic Legend. They have so many resources, but if Furikakae on Downpayment is able to time the invisible boundary to perfection, it might just deny everything, and then Donald can strike right back with his own Eye of Agamotto.
A new look for Incipience. They want the back row. FunFun once again being a nuisance. Can they isolate this? They're really trying to get onto them, but once again, the Venom just escapes with it. Now onto the site. Xenofly has the Eye of Agamotto. Needs to be able to pop it in the right time, but finds FunFun. That really opens things up right before this invisible boundary comes out. Oh my gosh! Xenofly absolutely taken out of action!
Furikakae just flicks onto Xenofly. That is a crazy pick from Furikakae, and is able to time that invisible boundary, like I said, to perfection. Denies all the ultimates being used by Incipience, and look at the reward that Downpayment receive. 3 members of Incipience. Downpayment will just send down Incipience into the ground 6 feet under as they make us
award for themselves from Ground Zero Gaming.
As Downpayment finally looking to hold for now. Apart from a slight miscommunication back in the early round.
Not too shabby, and plus, you know, they're gonna have ultimate advantage moving into this next team fight, unless Doxlin does exactly that. That's why precisely they were hard carrying that first map. Doxlin on the Adam Warlock has the Comic Revival online as well, which means that Xenofly can push with aggression all the way into the choke.
Everyone has their ultimates available. Donald at 99. Now everyone has their ultimate 6. Already popped the Ensong Inferno, but doesn't get any value. Gaku in exile. Now teaming up to use their own ultimates, but it looks like it's Bobo King's time to shine as he lasers down Gaku. Eye of Agamotto. Karmic Revival. It's Jeff. Top it off with a Freedom Charge all on the site. It's a dance party. A particle sensory overload as Downpayment looking to hold and will come out on top from the ultimate trades.
Yeah, despite the Karmic Revival, despite the Cocoon even coming from Donald, Doxlin is just Donald and 6 picking up names and destroying the furniture just to get to their marks. And even at the tail end, Zyle's not going to be able to get away with it. A full stop hold to deny this first point from Incipience, and timer ticking now, 120.
Yep, minute 20 left on the clock. Incipients need to find a way in to get that point moving as Fun takes to the skies, comes right down to shut down Doxlin as both Star Wars are spinning, but it looks like Gaku's the one that's going to be winning. As the rest of Incipience looking to keep that push going. Here comes the dive from Naku, just tethering up the back line that is of Downpayment. Gaku lasers down 6, will jump in to find another, and Incipience. Signs of life being shown here in this map number 2.
Yeah, basically the dive plus the counter dive coming up from Incipience means that they're able to get the best of some of these players who can't necessarily get out of the action. Sounds like Lumi, sounds like Furakake. And there with the backlines being dealt with, they're able to push their way in. Captain America does their best to hold on, but Donald can't stay alive much longer. So is Bobo King sending it back. Now they're basically streaming in bit by bit, to be honest.
Yeah, we call this the controversial one at a time strat. Here's the It's Jeff. Just waiting for the right moment. Only picks up his own allies.
Oh!
The rest of Downpayment, can they look for a way in? Furakake opens things up. Here comes the Galactic Legend, but it's not going to do a whole lot thanks to the stolen Fate of Both Worlds from Lumi, as Bobo King now using his own as Furakake tag teams with Lumi, and now it's his turn on the Fate of Both Worlds as Downpayment. They're looking to hold. Overtime meter comes to fruition as the team of Incipients crumble. As the moment we thought we saw signs of life from Incipient.
Oh, why is Downpayment coming?
Wiped out. Yeah, now he's
changing. He's changing the Venom now. Oh, jeez. What have you done, Dan? What have you done? Just cast it first for fun.
Hey. At least we have the Hella Venom team up. They had something going there, but it looks like they will just go back to the tried and true composition that Downpayment know and love as Bobo King lasers down Doxlin, who does have the Cocoon, so it's still an even fight for the time being. But look at 6 jumping up, jump peeking, taking shots, and will take out Gaku.
Lumi, great kind of point on to Doxlin as well, who has no more Cocoon. Now focus on Naku. That's 2 out of Incipience. And Donald's using the advantage to just press forward. These hands are E for everybody, says Donald. Xenofly will drop. Now pressing straight into the cluster that's on the right side, not giving any space to Incipience.
Naku's going to use the teleport here. But Donald and Furakake have so many ultimates. They have the Fate of Both Worlds. They have the Clobber in time. And they just have a way to shut down the desperation portal that is of Incipience. The Fate of Both Worlds only denying the inevitable that is of a team wipe going to Incipience as Bobo King takes to the skies, but Gaku will get shut down as well, and Downpayment will send down Incipience yet again here in map number 2.
Wait, that was an absolute team wipe, and Naku has no teleport, and that'll be it. Holy! Clean sweep from...
Briefly before we got into that, also on the Fate of Both Worlds, Bobo King now with Soul Resurgence as 6 does laser down Doxlin, and will flip his way to safety.
Yeah, great bubble as well, just to be able to sustain sticks a little bit more. Now the Ultron out online. Zali's found out.
Oh
and
my!
Within these close quarters, the rage is coming true. Donald finds one as well, but the cleanup crew on Al 5 and Incipience leave crying.
Yeah, quite literally, yeah. As Incipience, they have so many ultimates to work with, whereas Downpayment, they only have 3, but I am pretty confident that it's going to be enough for Downpayment to take over the defense. But Incipience, this is their best chance to make their way onto the site here, as things are going to get kicked off, as Gaku tries to use the End Song Inferno, but it's going to get shut down immediately by Downpayment. But a great stun by Xenofly. Stuns onto 3, but Bubble King did pop the Solar Surges in the nick of time, so it's not going to do any sort of damage here, as Downpayment, they look to have the defense. Thunder does find the Mantis of Bobo King, but that's all. That's going to be all she wrote, as Incipients still looking to push in. They used all their ultimates, and here comes Fun with the Meteor M. Doesn't quite land the mark, but look at what happened to Incipients. They're not even making their way in.
They can't. It's just too much defensive hold, and every time they move in, Downpayment just envelop them like a bit of a burrito. 6 being an absolute nuisance, trying to track down the diving Venom. It's just too much to bear right now. It's 12 seconds left. They have to get themselves in. Doxon finds Lumi. That's a big one, but with Naku out of the way, I'm not sure if they have enough firepower to get themselves in.
They're trying to pile on in right now. Overtime meter is used. Xenofly uses the portal to try to reposition with his team. Fun and the rest of the Downpayment crew looking to slaughter what is left of Incipients, who are trying to find a way and find some sort of traction, but it's not gonna be it's not gonna matter. Everyone on Incipients just getting wiped out. Doxlin even using the Cocoon to try to buy a bit of time. So is Thunder, but that Jeff is only slippery. I feel like Downpayment are having a little bit of fun at this point.
That's honestly just spitting in their face.
That's like, yeah, that's like adding salt to the wound. Yeah, being like, haha, we have a hero that you can't play, haha.
Oh, okay, not gonna lie, I'm here for the clout. I'm here for the drama. Run it, Lumi.
That is absolutely diabolical. I'm not gonna lie. But here we go. 10 seconds left. Incipients have to play this defense to perfection. Can they do it, or do they get absolutely swept out here in this best of 5 series in the lower bracket? Only time will tell. Here we go. Lumi will pull through with the magic. How long does it take for Incipients to realize that Lumi is on this pick?
Donald rocking the Angela for a bit of verticality, looking for a bit of a pick after they've maxed out their passive. Finds the Vanguard, isolates it. Donald's out of action and tries to get Naku out. Yep, Lumi will find Naku with the magic. That's a resounding salt in your wound against Incipients.
Yep, that's already an early pick. Keep in mind, if you're on the defensive side in these kind of maps, you gotta make a long walk. Oh my God, Donald! Don't do him like that, man. You just shut down what the little hope that Incipients had in this map, in this series, in this whole entire tournament, and you just skewered them into the abyss like that? Oh my.
4 brackets, 3-0 to Downpayment, victorious in their best